All right, Johnny. If I got cornrows for this weekend, would you cut that hair into a mullet?
If you get cornrows this weekend, I will have a mullet.
Okay, buddy.
For the D now.
Can you frost the tips?
I don't know how to do that, but
we'll figure it out.
If we can figure it out, I'll do it, dude. Anything for the D now, you know?
I think I got time tomorrow.
Please do. I will. I promise you I will. That would be fantastic.
You would pull it off.
I don't know about that, but we'll try.
All right, deal. Hey everyone, welcome to today's episode of Going Deeper at the Well, where we just spent some time talking about God's truth and hearing some godly testimony. Today, we're joined with one of my good friends and somebody that most of you guys know, if not all of you guys know, the Johnny Fernandez. Johnny's going to be leading worship with us tomorrow night at D-Now Weekend, so we want you guys to sign up if you have not yet, and we're looking forward to that. But Johnny, tell everybody what you're doing right now and where God has you in life.
Yeah. So first off, thanks for having me for now and for tomorrow at D-Now.
Yeah, buddy.
But I'm currently in Charleston. I live down there at my MESC. I'm in dental school, so I'm going to be a glorified tooth fairy one day, hopefully, you know. And I serve over there at New Spring Church at the Charleston campus, and I like to play golf and pickleball. So,
dude, pickleball's making a rise.
It's a good thing.
It's a great thing.
Also duck hunting, but that season ended. So anyways, go ahead. Well, I'm getting off track.
I'm sorry. But we're looking forward to everything God has in store this weekend.
Yeah.
And so if you guys have been around for D-Now over the last, I guess, 2 years, last 3, including this one, Johnny's been leading, and you just do such a great job, man. You lead us into the throne room of God. Like, you really are authentic. I think our kids see that, and we've just fallen in love with you here. And it's really cool that we're able to sit down and talk a little bit about your story and as it leads into this year's theme. Yeah. And as you guys probably know, we're going to be walking through Psalm 23. The symbols on our shirt is Hebrew for the word my shepherd. And in Psalm 23, there's a verse that says, "Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil because you are with me." Yep. And I think for a lot of our students over the last year with COVID and quarantine and all the things that involve that, there's a lot of us that struggled. I mean, with loneliness, anxiety, depression.
Yeah.
But one thing we want you to know is that Jesus is walking with you. Whether you realize it or see it right now or not, He's with you. And so what we're going to do is just, Johnny, I would love if you would just share your story of a few years ago when God brought you through some stuff and just really helped you and how D-Now kind of played a role in that.
Sure. So it was 2 years ago. It was my first year in dental school. So Hayden had asked me to lead worship. Well, let me backtrack a little bit. So I had just graduated from Anderson University.
Go Trojans.
Go Trojans, that's right. Hayden's alma mater as well.
That's right, buddy. That's right.
But so I'm from here. I'm from Easley. I went to Wren High School. Then I went to Anderson. So yeah, I left my parents' house, but really I was 20 minutes down the road. I saw them every Sunday for church at minimum. If not, I saw them a little more throughout the week. So I never really left home. I was leading worship at Mount Airy, which is my home church from when I lived here and growing up and everything. And yeah, so everything was awesome. I really did. I loved my 4 years at Anderson and everything growing up. Parents are awesome. Super thankful for them. Then I moved to Charleston, like literally a week after graduation. I moved to Charleston. And at first I was like, yeah, we have the beach there. It's going to be so fun, warm weather. Like, yeah, we have dental school, but it's whatever. We'll get through it. Yeah, that wasn't the case. And so it really wasn't. First off, I never really left my parents, like I just said. So I didn't really know how big of an impact that was going to have on me. It was pretty big. I stopped leading worship, not because I was like, I hate worship. That's not the reason at all. It's because I left Mount Airy and I didn't really have anywhere to serve at the moment. And on top of all that, I jumped into, by far, not even arguably, by far the hardest thing I'd ever done. And that was dental school, which they threw us into classes and it was just lectures all the time. And it was just tough. I'm not the smartest cookie in the box or whatever you want to say. So it was tough for me. And like, at first I'm like, all right, I can do this. I'm like gunning it, going all out. And quickly I learned, like, I can't do that. I definitely can't do it by myself. And I was like, and so just within a couple of months, it's all kind of happened so fast. I was like, I was nothing short of depressed. I was lonely. I had a lot of anxiety. And I was just like, why is this happening, God? Like, what is going on? I was like, mentally, I just wasn't there. I don't know how to explain it. I was just going through such a dark time, and I was scared. I had never gone through something like this. I was really scared.
But even for you, knowing Johnny, I knew you for a long time, like through AU, through RIM. We kind of ran in the same circles. You're really good friends with my younger brother, and you were nothing short but joyful every time I was around you. So I'm sure that was even just shocking when you get into this. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Yeah, that's a good point. Not that I'm like super awesome. I'm really not. But
You are.
I'm
You are.
like, I always like to be happy and laughing and having a good time. And so like, now I was like the complete opposite. I was like actually scared for my own well-being. It's like a lot of thoughts running through my mind. Do I need to leave dental school? Things like that. And I'm like, well, no, I know the Lord has me here for a reason, but like, if he's got me here for a reason, then why am I going through all of this? So now, resume. Hayden asked me to lead worship, and I'm like, yes, I'm going to lead worship. I don't really know how I'm going to do it yet, because mentally I'm just like in such a weird place. I was like, but I do know one thing. I was like, I trust that I can like stand before the Lord and say like, this is not me. I need you to work through me, and he'll deliver. So I come and I lead worship, and it was amazing. It was like one of the most amazing, by far the most amazing weekend that year that I had. And but also like throughout the weekend, I got to just throw everything aside. I didn't really worry about school, and I was just able to like worship freely and do it with these kids that like you can tell are just hungry for the Lord and just trying to just get closer to him. And it was amazing. And so, and I shared a passage which I think you're going to touch on here in a little bit, so I'll let you do that. But it just like changed my whole perspective, and praise the Lord ever since then. Like, he's healed me, delivered me. We're still working. It's still a work in progress. I'm not by any means like where I want to be, like mentally, but like such a different like perspective to where I was. And that only goes to like thanking the Lord and how he brought me out of that, and trusting the fact that his ways are higher than mine. And I don't know why he had me in there, but I trusted him regardless. And the passage that I read that weekend was not by luck. Like, that was because that's what I was going through. And praise the Lord. Like, I mean, I just trust him, and like, he delivers every single time, and his word never comes back empty, and his promises he always holds fast to. And so like, that's a little bit about what that's meant to me. Like, this is not just for the kids. This impacts me as well. So
and me, because for that weekend, it's a moment I'll never forget. At least I hope I don't forget. But you have a crowd full of kids. You're leading worship, and you start to share this passage from Mark 9. And it's a story where a dad has a son that's demon-possessed, and he asked the disciples to cast the demon out of his son, and the disciples, they couldn't do it. And the dad comes to Jesus, and he said, Lord, if you can do this, please heal my son. And then Jesus, he starts to talk to him, and then the guy looks at Jesus and says, Lord, I believe, but help my unbelief. Yep. And I just remember that moment. You're leading worship. We go from, I think it was So Will I, and then we went into God of Miracles. And just in between that the word spoke to me in such a way to remember that there are things that I don't have control over, but we have a shepherd that does. And I'm so thankful for what God has done in your heart and in your life. And we're looking forward to this weekend. But what's one thing you want to challenge our students with going into DNOW 2020?
So that was a lot, y'all. But first off, be here. Come with a lot of energy. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to hit the ground running. And then third off, we're going to have a lot of fun. Hopefully not a whole lot of pranks. Hayden, don't get mad at me for just throwing that idea in their mind. Okay. But also, we're gonna get serious, and we're gonna dig deep. And this is the whole purpose of why we're doing this: to glorify the Father and lead kids to Christ. And so, just be praying for that, and we trust that the Lord will show up when we ask him to. So yeah,
Amen. That's right. So guys, just know this: we are looking forward to everything this weekend. But the main thing is, like you said, we just want to lift up Jesus. And so, Johnny, thank you so much for just being a tool and a vessel for the Lord to use. I just appreciate your ministry, and I'm so excited for what God's doing in your life. And students, we want to leave you with this. If you're dealing with some hard stuff, and maybe throughout this year, your story kind of relates to Johnny, and you're just not really even sure where to look, turn and fix your eyes on Jesus, because he's the good shepherd that's with you right now. Students, we're looking forward to tomorrow night. We cannot wait to see you at DNOW 2021. Y'all come ready, and let's worship Jesus.